Kai bere Chineke. Na hage kai na eguzo egopụta address ya nke anyị na-agụ na Men's Christian Fellowship nke Glory Dingri. N'ụbọchị tata bụ 2nd October 2021. Kunye ya ume kwe ka ọ bụrụ ga-agba ya ume dịka anyị ga-eje na-eje ozi n'etiti ụmụ nwoke n'ime Dingri a ka ọ bụrụ ihe ga-ewu n'nzukọ ụmụ nwoke elu site na Jesus Christ bụ onye nwe anyị. Amen. Ka anyị nọdụ ala. Praise the Lord. Presidential address presented at the Median Archdeaconry Men's Conference holding at Chapel of Glory Anglican Girls Secondary School, Newi, on Saturday, 2nd October 2021 by the Archdeacon, the Venerable Prince Chukwuma, Papa Omoboy. Appreciation. The Lord has done great things for us. We are glad. With a heart full of joy and gratitude, we want to welcome you to this occasion, especially the great people of Chapel of Glory Dingri and the people of Church of Divine Mercy, Umaibok. May the Almighty God bless you in Jesus' name. This is the Median Archdeaconry Men's Conference of this wonderful Dingri. It is a blessing that we have the privilege to be part of this great and glorious occasion. We want to assure that you will never regret coming to this great event in Jesus' name. You will go here blessed and better than you came. We want to appreciate the Lord Bishop of Nnewi Diocese, the Right Reverend Dubisi Obi, and the wife, Mrs. Okamaka Obi, for the marvelous work that God uses them to do in this diocese, and the successful 2001 Diocesan Synod held last month. We also thank them for the inauguration of Glory Dingri held on 22nd of May 2021. May God multiply their grace and grant them success in all their vision and episcopacy in Jesus' name. We want to appreciate and welcome my beautiful wife, the First Lady, Federal Republic of my house, Mrs. Chukwuma. She is an unquantifiable and immeasurable gift, blessing of God to my life. She is always there for me, always supportive, always humble, always cheerful, and always good. God will continue to bless and protect her for me in Jesus' name. We want to welcome and appreciate our team workers, the clergy wives, church teachers, the PCC, knights and ladies, the school board, and all the delegates of Men's Christian Fellowship. You are all so precious and special to us. God, the righteous judge and rewarder of every deed, we bless and reward you all for your sacrifice and services in the vineyard in Jesus' name. Brief history of Chapel of Glory and Men's Fellowship. To the glory of God, the Chapel of Glory Men's Christian Men's Fellowship has been great and moving forward from strength to strength since 2008. Men's Fellowship was inaugurated by the then evangelist Chukwuma, with Engineer Nwabo Ojukwu as the acting chairman of the fellowship in 2008, after which Prince Francis Uzochukwu, who was the vice chairman, took the office of the chairman to continue from Engineer Ojukwu. To continue where Engineer Ojukwu stopped after the official opening of Chapel of Glory in 2010 October precisely. Now, having Reverend Arinze Anene, now Venerable Anene, as the vicar in charge, Men's Fellowship works more strong and ensure there were no loopholes in the needs of the chapel. The chapel welcomed yet another amiable priest, Reverend Emobidio Gunam Venerable, who pastored the chapel marvelously with new development. After him, Reverend Canon Abanose. After Canon Abanose, the chapel welcomed Reverend Canon Chike Nwachukwu, non-venerable Chike Nwachukwu. The chapel men worked strongly with Venerable Chike Nwachukwu. Venerable Chike Nwachukwu was also preferred archdeacon before his transfer. Since 2010 to 2021, the leadership of the Chapel Christian Men's Fellowship was under Prince Francis Ozochukwu due to his diligence and capacity. This year, he was elected and made the Diocesan Men's Treasurer of the Diocese of Nnewi Christian Men's Fellowship. This is an indicator that the chapel men are alive unto God. This is new post and position made him to demand for a successor that will take over from him. The vicar granted his request and new executive emerged with Mr. Sunday Nwankwo as the chairman. In December 2020, Chapel of Glory was made dignitary by the present bishop, Right Reverend Dubisi Obi, as a result of the elevation of the chapel to deanly status. An archdeacon was sent as the vicar in the person of the Venerable Prince Chukwuma, Papa Omoboy. Since 2010 to 2021, the leadership, the chairmanship of CMF was under Prince Francis Uzochukwu due to his excellent and wonderful work in the office. CMF achievements so far. The chapel men bought the air conditioners in the chapel. I wouldn't know whether it is all of them or some of the air conditioners. All the air condition. Wow. Men's Fellowship erected a story building for clinic, and it was later expanded to two-story building to serve as the children worship place. The CMF also built the chapel podium. Chapel men went to the Diocesan Men's Bible Quiz and won second position trophy. Chapel of Glory CMF are very active in the archdeaconry and diocesan level and are financially up to date. Challenges facing chapel men. Most of the chapel men are civil servants who do not like in much abundance. Most of the chapel men are civil servants. Most of the chapel men often relocate to other areas, thereby losing active members. Chapel is not a pure village church, so people vacate the chapel at will and random. This makes us to lose active members and financial members. Information from the diocese. In the last diocesan synod at Ishi, the bishop announced and approved the change of name of the Diocesan Men's Fellowship from Anglican Men's Fellowship AMF to Christian Men's Fellowship CMF. He said that the letter name is from the primate's office and it should be a general name for all the men's organization in the Church of Nigeria. Adam Vetek. It will interest you to know that the Diocese of Nnewi Vocational and Technical Institute is growing and becoming more efficient in many fields. Some of their products were showcased in the 2021 Diocesan Synod. One of the best things we can do for our children is to equip them with technical knowledge, especially in this our contemporary jobless society. Diocesan Farm. The present Diocesan administration has taken the farm to a very great height. It now has different departments like fishery, poultry, and piggery. The farm in Ihitokija produces many farm crops and fruit, vegetables in large quantity. It has even gone into yam and rice production. Other projects of the diocese include establishment of College of Education, add-on gas and oil company, building of a very big food house, food market. The CMF Glory 2001 CMF conference team created for dominion. Psalm 8, 4-6. When God finished all the work of creation, he sought for the one who will govern and control all he created. Among all he created, none were qualified to take the honorable seat of rulership among the creations. Finally, God said, let us make man in our own image so that they will have dominion. Genesis 1:26-28. The very purpose of creating man was declared that they might have dominion. What does it mean to have dominion? Dominion is the art and act of having supremacy, influence, control, and authority over others. God created and gave man authority and ownership of earth. God is in charge of the heaven above, but the earth he has given to the sons of man. Sons of men. Psalm 115 verse 16. God has handed over the earth and everything in it to man, not just as caretaker but as the owner, to control and fashion it as he likes. So the key of the earth was handed over to man. By implication, you have been given authority, power to declare what you want in your life, world, and environment. Most of the things we are seeking God to do and change for us are the things God has given us authority and power to change and declare what we want. Loss of dominion. The position God placed man on earth was so great, honorable, and absolute that the Satan is so envious and angry about it. Having lost his position, throne, and authority in heaven, Satan vowed to dethrone man from this throne of authority and dominion through subtle and persistent enticement and deception. Man sold his authority and dominion to Satan by obeying the voice of the serpent rather than the command of God. Anytime you listen and obey the voice of serpent to go against the word and commands of God, you are directly selling your right and authority to the devil. Through obedience to commit sin and disobedience and disobey divine injunctions, one can sell away his inheritance and seat of authority to demons. The easiest and cheapest way to control a seat of power is to gain influence over the man on the seat. Devil has employed this method to gain access and control over the blessings, possessions, and influence of many individuals and families. Some fathers have lost their values, respect, honor, and authority in their families because they obey the demon of adultery and immorality and defy their matrimonial bed. The wives and children do not have regard and respect for them. Another thing that can rob man of his position of authority and dominion is ignorance. Ignorance is lack of knowledge or information. Some men are ignorant of their divine position, authority, and inheritance. They don't know whom God said they are and what God made them to be. Ignorance, they say, is a disease. Ignorance makes a man to bow where they should not bow. Yield and submit to things, people he should not submit to. Live as a coward where he should exercise authority and control. Many people have given up what should be theirs out of ignorance. Thank God for the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Through him, man was restored to his place of authority and dominion. Praise God. We are to have dominion. Dominion over sin. Romans 6 verse 14 said, for sin shall not have dominion over you. The first place a Christian father should have dominion is in a battle against sin. Some men are still slaves to one sin or the other. If sin has dominion over you, then you cannot have dominion in other areas. The power of sin will rob you of your boldness, courage, authority to rule in other places. Dominion over Satan, powers of darkness. Jesus Christ told us in Luke chapter 10 verse 19 that he has given us authority, dominion, to trample upon snakes and scorpions and to overcome, rule all the powers of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt us. Brothers, God has given us dominion over demons. So don't allow Satan to threaten and torment your family again. Rise and take over dominion and rule all demons around you. Dominion in our homes. Fathers are meant, created to be the both spiritual and physical leaders, head and directors of their homes. Some men are too weak in leading and directing their family affairs. They lack power and positive influence in their families. This is an error, abnormality, and sin. In most cases, when a man slacks in his primary responsibility in the family, he indirectly hands the position of leadership to his wife or anyone else. Some fathers do not have control over the children because they are not where they're supposed to be. In our offices, place of works, it is not good that a member of Christian Men's Fellowship should be swallowed in his office by unbelievers. Some are too cold and quiet that they can't kick against an evil system in their offices, place of work. Darkness cannot cover light. You are the light and should shine forth. Take responsibility of leadership in organizations you belong. It is one of the ways to have dominion and manifest the light. In our villages or communities, Deuteronomy 28 says that we are the head and not the tail. Christians should show the leadership attributes in their communities. Being swallowed by unbelievers and members of other church denominations is not holiness. Running away from your right and inheritance is not humility, but foolishness and cowardice. Take responsibility in your community and make a godly and positive impact. A city built under the hill cannot be hidden. In politics, the political nation and the state of our environment, nation today, calls for a true Christian leadership and intervention. A vessel that can make himself available in the hands of God. That is the only thing that can save our contemporary political nation. It is the work of salt to add sweetness to a meal. And when the salt is withdrawn, what will the condition of the meal be? This is why we should rise and take dominion in our present day politics. Put interest in it. Summary: our leadership and dominion as men come from God. Christ is the head of every man. As a man submits himself to the leadership and authority of Christ, he will be in charge and rule over every other thing. My prayer is that God will give us grace to rule and always have dominion, both spiritually and physically, and everywhere we find ourselves, in Jesus' name. This year's conference will bring great and remarkable blessings in your life and family, in Jesus' name. Let us round off as we take Abo number 84. Abo number 84. The technical crew can help us. Jesus gachi nebenine. The implication is that anywhere Jesus in achi, then we have dominion over everywhere Jesus in achi. Abo 84. Jesus gachi nebenine. Jesus gachi n'ebe niile, anyanwụ na-agaghị je ya, alaeze ya ga na-agbasa ruo mgbe ọnwa na-agaghị. The last stanza. Kọwa niile bilie weta ihe ịsọpụrụ eze anyị, dị ozi ji abụghị ịda mbebe n'ụwa zanụ. Thank you for listening patiently. I am the Archdeacon, Venerable Prince Chukwuma, Papa Omoboy. God bless you.